photograph leaders, welcome back to my channel. We are on Cemetery Road. Cemetery Road. So last time we were here they were just completing it, and now it has been completed for several months. You want to see what it looks like. Now this is the canal. This says Government of Guyana Project, Sheriff Construction. This is the ever-present Sheriff Group. It's now doing construction here at the canal. It seems as if they are building drains, reinforced concrete drains. This is looking east along the embankment, and my guess is that they're building these drains to fill the trenches around the cemetery. So this is what is happening at the boundary of the Larry Pintier Cemetery. These guys are putting in, first of all they're drilling out the trenches around the cemetery, and then they're going to put in concrete drains. JS Engineering Construction, so this is another contractor. Government of Guyana Project Management Construction, JS Engineering Services and Supplies. So my guess is that the government is building reinforced drains along this canal, East La Penitence. As you can see, looking west now along this canal, they've dredged it, and there are some bridges. Those are concrete bridges, the black and yellow structures, concrete bridges across this canal. And my guess is that the government is going to be reinforcing these drainage systems, these drainage canals. That's looking east with retaining walls. But let's turn our attention to what has happened here on Cemetery Road. So Cemetery Road construction has been completed. They've put in these center or median walkways again, and they've completed the surface of the road and drawn in the lines, yellow lines, white lines, broken white lines, and road markings. The cemetery itself is still overgrown with bush and shrubs. It remains to be seen if this is part of the beautification project, whether they will in fact clean up the cemetery and turn it into a landmark, which it was before. Larry Pintier Cemetery was a major landmark in Georgetown, a strip of sacred ground where all of the important city residents are buried, including my mother actually. My mother is buried in a grave along one of these paths, which I am to locate and clean up, and which the government of Guyana seems to have neglected for the past several decades. People in the comments arguing about their political party. This all happened in the last 30 years since their political party has been in power. Before that, you could walk through this cemetery on Sunday and have a quiet stroll. But since it's been neglected for the past 30 years, there's no way for you to have a quiet stroll in the cemetery anymore. We're walking along Cemetery Road, the newly constructed Cemetery Road, and as you can see, no attention has been paid to landscaping. south end. This is the north end of finally completed Cemetery Road. That's looking west on Princess Street. You can see they've added zebra crossings and they've added bridge railings. That's looking east on Princess Street. And this is what the final version of this Cemetery Road middle walkway or median walkway. That's the Larry Ventura Cemetery looking east. That's where we just crossed over from Vlissingen Road. So Vlissingen Road continues along Cemetery Road. Cemetery Road because it passes through the Larry Ventura Cemetery. And this is now Sunday morning. So what has happened since the last time we were here? They've completed the median, and clearly there is no landscaping, just grass growing in a patch of earth between the median and between the walkway and the edge of the median. There's not a whole lot of protection for pedestrians here. There's no guardrails, for example. Which means, in true Guyanese fashion, vehicles can drive on this walkway, park on this walkway, or even drive across it. Alright, so there's been a recent spate of terrorist attacks involving vehicles. It happened in Germany, it happened in the United States, where someone in a vehicle drove headlong into a group of pedestrians and killed a dozen or more people. And so this is becoming a regular form of terrorism. Somehow that understanding has not yet reached Guyana. So for example, this walkway in the center of Cemetery Road should have guardrails. Where this grass is growing, there should be guardrails, and the grass should be maintained, should be manicured, but somehow that has not yet reached the people who build roads in Guyana. Guardrails will protect pedestrians walking on the walkway. Now this, I think I've shown you before, this is actually a path through the cemetery. The cemetery is overgrown with bush and now has become a dumping ground for trash. And what used to be a walkway through the cemetery, in other words, you could have 30 years ago, you could actually stroll through the cemetery, right? You could stroll on the walking path or even access paths to the various tombs. That was 30 years ago. Now it's become overgrown with trees and bush, and you can hardly see the tombs that are actually quite dense in this part of the cemetery. You can't see them because of all the grass that has grown up here. So there's still a lot of work to be done. Cemetery Road is now open, and there's a full traffic from Mandela Avenue on this now extension of Vlissingen Road into the city center. But clearly what is missing is quality of the finished product. In other words, these roads are not being built to some high standard. This is a concrete path through one of the gates in the cemetery. I'm assuming that this is probably because there's still room for burial in this part of the cemetery. The cemetery has been extended eastward into the landfill area. This is the western side. This part of the cemetery is supposed to be filled, but there should be walkways. Alright, so what is missing is the standard of quality. The grass being left to grow here on the side of the walkway, the lack of guardrails to protect the pedestrian walkway from traffic. These are the things that are missing. And as you come to the end of this part of Cemetery Road, it actually continues all the way through to Mandela Avenue. But I just wanted to show you again what's happening at this end of Cemetery Road. There is another civil engineering task to add concrete drains to the drains around Cemetery Road. That's looking east. This is the bridge. It's now been completed across this canal, and that's the canal looking west towards the Demerara River. That's looking back where we came from. There are traffic cameras, street cameras on these corners. That's looking east. That's it, guys. That's what's happening here. Cemetery Road. Like I said, it continues, but the same what I just observed could be said for the rest of Cemetery Road South. There are no guardrails protecting and separating pedestrians on this walkway on the median from traffic on the roads. It's Sunday morning, so traffic is really not as busy as it normally is. But that's an update on Cemetery Road. Tell me what you think, guys, in the comments below. Progress here on Cemetery Road in Georgia, Guyana. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later! Alright, Sheriff Construction. Sheriff is everywhere, in everything, doing everything